Hi, my name is Rob Stevenson. I am the founder of InsideOut, which is a social enterprise helping to create mentally healthier workplaces that are free of stigma and where everybody in those workplaces can prioritize their mental well-being.
He's my brother.
This journey is personal to me. I experience bipolar disorder, which is a mental illness. It is a mental illness that is characterized by extremes of mood, from deep dark depression through to periods of mania. There are also periods of strength where I can show real drive, have periods of creativity, of challenging the impossible. My journey lasted for 15 years to get to this point where I learned to manage my condition by prioritizing sleep, by using exercise, by using mindfulness, by giving myself a score out of 10. Today I'm an 8. If tomorrow I'm a 7 and then a 6, I kind of want to know why and what can I do to change it. I use medication, I see a therapist. But like a lot of people, I learned to manage this condition under the radar, with only close friends and family knowing about it. And that was due to stigma. It was due to a fear that clients would see me differently. It was due to a fear that my staff wouldn't want to work for me. It was due to a fear that my friends would treat me differently. And my light bulb moment came in October of 2017, when I heard a campaigner called Jeff McDonald talk about his experiences of anxiety and depression and the loss of a friend of his to suicide. And at that moment I felt shame. And I felt shame because there I am, a successful business owner, and yet every week when I'd go and see my therapist, I'd put the word physio in my diary. Physio for years. My team must have thought I've got the worst physiotherapist in the world that cannot fix this back injury. And yet every Monday I'd come in telling tales of 100-mile bike rides. So at that moment I was inspired. I was inspired to be open and share my story of mental illness. But I was further inspired to see how could I make a difference and contribute to the movement that is trying to end stigma in our workplaces. And the thing I heard consistently in that time was we do not have enough of our senior leaders who are being open about their lived experience of mental ill health and acting as role models. We have plenty of celebrities, sports stars, Ruby Wax, Stephen Fry in this country, but we don't have enough of our workplace leaders. So I founded InsideOut, which has the mission of smashing the stigma by showcasing senior leaders by virtue of a published list.
I'm Anna Figueredo. About a year ago I decided to start in dedicating some time and giving back to society, so I've been helping with a bunch of people like Rob on mental health. And I'm here because I decided to tell my story. I decided to go public with my story when I realized that people like me who are lucky to survive, we have it filed away and it's taken care of, and we don't want to be associated with the stigma. But on the other hand, and the people who are going through the journey don't have someone to look up to and see that there is possible to get to the other side. So we just need to have role models.
We published our first LeaderBoard in March of this year with 42 trailblazing role models from various workplaces who are open about their mental ill health and creating workplace cultures that allow people to put their hand up and seek help if they're suffering with mental ill health, but also create cultures that allow everybody to prioritize their well-being and proactively manage their mental health. We had partners from the professions, we had CEOs, we had CFOs, we had managing directors from smaller businesses. We even had the commissioner of the London Fire Brigade, who has an amazing story of leadership and vulnerability. Post Grenfell, the tragedy of Grenfell, she realized that if her firefighters were going to seek the help that they needed to recover from that tragedy and the trauma that they saw, she needed to show vulnerability and publicly declare she was in therapy. Leadership in the face of intense public scrutiny. And we have many stories like that from the LeaderBoard of culture change, of creating cultures where people feel able to talk about mental ill health and their challenges through an interview process.
My name is Mark Twigg. I'm an executive director at Cicero Group, which is the UK's leading public affairs company, and I've been there for 16 years. I think it's been incredibly powerful and uplifting. And the thing that I will take away with me is, during my 25 years where I was living with depression, there were times during that process where I never thought I would get anything positive out of that experience. So to come here tonight and meet so many inspirational people with so many inspirational life stories, and to realise that you're not actually a lone voice in this discussion. There's a lot of people doing good work, and a lot of people who are committed to reframing the conversation around mental health so that it's not negatively charged, that it's actually seen as a positive in society. All we have to do is manage mental health better and give people the support they need so that they can live with it.
We are very proud of this initiative and are delighted to say that we're going to be launching this initiative in the United States. So details of how to get involved and nominate or apply to be on the LeaderBoard can be found here on the website. I'm going to come back to this conference in 12 months' time and launch a LeaderBoard of workplace leaders from your country who are contributing to smashing the stigma and being open about their mental ill health. And you know what? When those leaders do talk out, that is the start of creating happier, healthier, more productive, and ultimately higher performing workforces. So, thank you for your interest. Please email me if you'd like to have a confidential discussion about this. My email address is right here. And I look forward to seeing you in person this time next year. My name is Rob Stevenson. I'm the founder of InsideOut. Thank you.
He's my brother.